Welcome to Podcast Marketing Secrets, the place for entrepreneurs, coaches, and CEOs who are looking to grow their business with a podcast, become a key person of influence in their industry, and get their ideal clients to come to them, also known as attraction marketing. I'm your host, Al Morenton. My guest today is Shakeel Mohamed. Shaquille owns and operates a health and safety data analytics company that specializes in improving productivity. With the AI era coming, he looks for ways to minimize the disruption to the employee. Can we improve them in their roles to help them rather than looking at ways to replace them? He also has a career and coaching company, Pathegy, where his mission is to create a better you and help equip you for success. Welcome to the show, Shaquille.
Thanks, Al. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So, what is a health and safety data analytics company, and what led you to get into that field?
Health and safety data analytics company is brand new, I think. It's a new way of looking at how we keep the workforce safe and healthy. We use a data-driven approach to find out how we can advance human skill and also complement it rather than replace human skill. So we select certain parameters of organizations and we then deep dive into the data to find out how we can best do that.
Awesome. So is it the health, like the physical health of the employee, or is it keeping employees in the workforce?
It's health and safety,
Okay.
and how they are in the workplace. When I first originally got into health and safety, it was 50% health, 50% safety.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last few years, it's kind of dramatically switched in the balance. And now that it's 90% health and only 10% safety. So we look at the organization as a whole and how we can best support employees to be healthy and safe, both in the organization and then carrying that health onto their day-to-day lives.
Okay, that's awesome. And what types of companies benefit from your services?
We work with multiple organizations now, the care sector, the healthcare sector, oil and gas, construction, and now we've kind of dipped our toes now into the nuclear energy. It really depends on the organization and their outlook and how they want to improve things and which direction they want to take the business in.
Awesome. And as a business owner, how do you find your clients?
I find them exciting sometimes, and I find them strange sometimes into their mindset, because my mindset differs dramatically from a lot of organizations, especially now in this artificial intelligence era. A lot of organizations, they look to how can they get rid of humans and replace them with machines and artificial intelligence, where I look firstly to how can we advance humans and complement them in their place of work so that they can actually perform their job better and without trying to replace them or get rid of them for any kind of reason. I think clients, once we educate them and how we work and how we operate, they do understand the kind of methodology behind it. And at the same time, we do meet a lot of exciting clients that are really, innovative and they want to support the workforce and do the best for them. They recognize that humans are their greatest assets, and they want to improve them all the time, keep them safe. So it's a very, but it's anything. I think in business, yourself, Al, that if you have that open conversation with people and discuss things, and you tell them your opinion, they tell you your opinion, and then you understand how they arrived at their opinion, and they understand how you arrived at your opinion, and then you kind of make a plan to go forward. I think it's the same as kind of any scenario in business, is that you have to work together. If it's the same goal, if you share the same visions and goals.
That's awesome. Yeah. And it's really cool that you're working towards that with the AI to have it complement the human experience in the workforce and not replace it. That's super awesome. So like the employee's role may change a little bit, but they're still a vital aspect of a company. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So with the advent of AI and like machine learning, is there any other challenges that you see, for your clients or the workforce?
I think that the challenge that businesses face is the speed of it, the speed of how it's coming. I think that that is the challenge that I face, because things change so quickly now. Yourself, like every day there's something brand new out. Every day there's a new problem to deal with as a business owner, and you're always trying to look for solutions to deal with that. So the speed is something that I think is a massive challenge, and that is probably my main argument towards businesses, is that if you don't have the data on your business, how can you move at speed? How can you move efficiently if you don't know what's actually really going on and how things can move along quickly? That time to success, if that makes sense, is that if we before, yourself, like pre-COVID, you could maybe have a year plan, 2-year plan, but now you need to be able to adapt quickly within 2 months, 3 months, and you can't do that if you don't have data. So I kind of sell it on that point, is that the more data you have, the faster you can be as a company to execute.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and data analytics, all that stuff becomes more and more important with the advent, and it is like coming on strong. It's machine learning, especially even AI. It's been around for a while, but this year just took off. Do you have any fears surrounding AI?
You're absolutely right, Al. It's this year has just been crazy. We've been doing the data analytics stuff now for 18 months. At the start, nobody was interested. The start of this year, ChatGPT comes in, boom, the phone, what is it you do? What is it? Oh, I didn't know you do that. And then, people ask questions, they're intrigued. I think that the thing that we make a mistake on is that we think that it's just came around, whereas it's just that our eyes are open to it being here now, where it's been here all the time. It's like I was having this conversation with a team the other day, and I was like, don't use Google for 2 weeks. Don't use Google for 2 weeks, because you're actually asking Google so much stuff. Google, where's the best place to eat? Google, where's the nearest beach? Google, you're asking all the time. And that is artificial intelligence. It's just that people have become so accustomed to using it day in, day out, they've forgotten that it's artificial intelligence. And now that the artificial intelligence is slightly more advanced, I say that in a kind of skeptical way. Is it really more advanced? It's just that the likes of ChatGPT can do certain things that maybe Google couldn't. But on the counter argument to that is that Google could do that. It's just that you have to spend a little bit more time researching and finding the information. It's just that ChatGPT gets all the information. So my fear is that two things really, is that people, if they don't use how to use artificial intelligence, they fall behind. And the second fear is that we're too reliant on artificial intelligence, and we need to have some kind of measures of control in place. So, for different age groups, depending on who they are, that can use it or can't use it, if that makes sense to you.
For sure. Yeah, and it's really interesting. The like some people, like, they don't want to embrace it, because they just ignore it. And I would be one of those people, that just, hey, I don't want to do this, but like you said, you'll get left behind, in a huge way, because I mean, there's so many different software and everything that's like saying you could do this, we could do that, and help you with this and help you with that. Like, almost like you said, every day, I see new things coming through. And I guess as a business owner, I don't even know, like, should I get this thing because it's super awesome, or is there going to be something that's 10 times as awesome that comes out like tomorrow? It's really hard to navigate the seas right now, right?
Oh, 100%. It's choppy waters, and it's even choppier. And you've probably spoke about this before. Is we have to tread cautiously on who programs artificial intelligence, what their agenda is, and what they want as an outcome. And that's why I talk, to clients in such a way, and when I speak about it in such a way that, what is the reason that you want to use artificial intelligence? Is it because you think it's brilliant and it's going to make your life easier? Absolutely fine. Yeah, use it all day long. But if you're thinking of the lines that, we'd be better having machines doing humans' jobs, or replacing humans with machines because, we don't want to have the burden of managing humans, then we're going down the wrong path. And that's when, conversations have to be, had with what is the outcome that you're looking for. Because I think that's quite scary, is that who's programming and what's the agenda? Is it that, people think that humans are difficult to deal with, and let's get rid of them? It's a tough one.
Yeah, for sure. And because I deal with a lot of, like, written word and copywriting, and and even editing and all that kind of stuff. And I love it for that, because it helps you to not have a blank screen, and you could adjust and do all this stuff. So it helps to spark ideas and things. But there's still a lot of work involved. You don't just, like, just present what they give you. You have to optimize it and make sure everything's true, and get your story, and like, take out parts, put in parts, and all that. One of the things that I found is, working with other people in my industry, is that they are getting lazy and just putting something in the chat GBT or whatever flavor of the day software is out there, and just saying, here, they don't even, like, read it over themselves, so that's a big deal. And the other thing, what you were saying also, is on the other end, there's the robots and things that are being made for, like, fast food restaurants or whatever, to replace that's one of the big dangers that I see, like you're saying, trying to replace humans just totally. They're like, we could lease a robot for like $3,600 US a month, and they could work 24 hours a day and never get sick. And I pay my employee like $3,000 a month for 1 8-hour shift, and I'll save all this money, and I'll do all, that's the wrong kind of thinking. And I think, like, down the road, it could be dangerous. What do you think about that?
Yeah, 100%. You've hit the nail on the head. It's so dangerous, because what do we do with skills? What do we do with humanity? It's a crazy question, and it's, people are probably thinking, they're probably watching it and thinking, people, it's a machine and we don't care. But you have to think along the lines of, what purpose that we're bringing them in because we feel that humans can't do a job. And that's not the case. It's just that the culture in organizations is that, we just teach them to do the bare minimum, what we need to do. We don't develop people anymore. We don't upskill them anymore. And, let's get fed up with them and, move them along and get robots in. And, for me, that's scary because humanity should be first. We should look at humans, and how we can advance them and complement them all rather than replace them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because it's as you were saying today, is like mostly about the bottom line, and then in the past couple of decades, especially, the employers have treated employees not as assets, but as almost like cogs in a machine.
Yeah.
So like them trying to replace them with a machine, like the compassion is gone, and there is like empathy, compassion, morality, ethics, and everything else besides the bottom line. And actually, like companies are supposed to help the world, and I think that's been lost, sort of.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, is that look at the way things are at the moment. Look at social media, for example. The way people are recognizing that if they upskilled, they don't have to do a job anymore and be treated like that. And for organized, there's this massive problem at the moment of recruitment. People are struggling to get skills, people into work for them, and it's because organizations have created that culture that we're not going to develop you, we're not going to help you fulfill your dreams. You might work with us for 30 years, 20 years. We're not, whereas the social media has become this great equalizer that you can learn new skills and you can work for yourself. You could be an entrepreneur, or you can work with a group of individuals that, collectively make money, and you can make more money than you would do in a job for 5-6 years. You could probably triple that, 5x it. And that's why, we've created that culture that, humans are, they think that humans are lazy and they don't want to do the job. It's not the case that we don't want to do the job or become lazy. It's just that we are not fulfilled in that job. And we need to be upskilled and trained and developed and grow. And sometimes the jobs don't get that. Like, and we talk about food and fast food chains and all that. And that's fine. And nobody starts off their life saying, I want to work in a fast food chain all their life. Like for me, I started working in my father's restaurant, washing pans and pots. At no stage did I think I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, but it's a starting point. And then over that duration of time, you learn new skills and you upskill and you do different stuff, and then you grow from there. And I think that culture has been forgotten, that, we have to upskill individuals. And on that reason, people are looking at alternatives. You probably see it all the time now. People that want to upskill, learn new things, and then they're looking for that fulfillment.
Yeah, for sure. And it is a slippery slope because what's been created is much different than before. Where employees before, they did the 20-year pension, and they were lifers at a company, and then the company could easily invest in that employee because they're going to be around for a while. But today, like 1, 2, 3 years at a company, then you move on, and people just hop around. They even have like 2 jobs at once and everything like that. So on the company end, it's hard to invest, tons of money into that employee if you don't know they're going to be around, but there has to be some kind of a culture shift, on both ends, I think, to get back to humanity, basically. So with Pathegy, is that how you say it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so does that? So it says that the mission is to create a better you and help equip you for success. So are you helping that along with Pathegy?
Yeah. Pathegy, it came about of the kind of research that we'd been doing over the last couple of years, and that individuals simply weren't equipped for success. Sometimes they weren't being developed in the workplace. Excuse me. They weren't being developed in the workplace. They go into jobs and be promised, we're going to develop you, and in 6 months you're going to be here. No development plan was put in place, and then 4 years, 5 years later, they're still in the same job, not doing anything. So that was the kind of mindset behind it, is that, equip yourself, and then you'll be successful. But you need to be equipped to do that. And what we do is we have career coaching, and from that we find out what they want to do. Who do they want to be? Some people, they are quite happy working in jobs, they love it, they just want to get a better job, more money, and absolutely fine. And then you get individuals that start off in career and they're like, want to get a job, want to pay the bills, but we want to grow a business, we want to be entrepreneurs, we've got this great idea. And then what we do is we help them achieve that, and work with them, to fulfill themselves, and fulfill that potential. And with Pathegy, that was the whole kind of idea. And yeah, we've been operating now a year with Pathegy. Over the last year, we work closely with universities. So guys and girls that study in the universities, and they don't know what to do, we have career coaching for them. And we never encourage people just to go and just try and figure it out. What we do is we ask certain questions, who they want to be, what is it they want to achieve, and we set a kind of roadmap. And Pathegy is a strategy pathway. So we believe that if you have a good strategy in place, then there's a pathway to that goal. But you have to understand what that goal is, reverse engineer it, and work towards that. So many people, probably hear this all the time as well, as that they go to university, they do their masters in social arts, or even some of them do accountancy or business, and then they come out and think, I'm not interested, and I want to do something totally different. And we help them with that, try and support them on that journey.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. I wish I had something like that when I was in college.
Well, that's how the idea came about, to be honest with you, is that I felt, at school, it wasn't for me. I went there, enjoyed the sports aspect of it. We played rugby, but there was, that thing that you just feel like you're going through the motions and you're not really doing it. And it was only maybe over the last 10 years that I met some individuals and they mentored me. And, there is that pathway to success. And it's just exactly what you say, that, if younger individuals want that support, and, they're not just listening to what the school system says that they have to do, then then there's an alternative for them, and that's what we try and teach.
That's awesome, and it's really cool that you try to break down where they want to be. Do you want to be a career employee that adds value to a company or corporation, or are your end goals to actually be an entrepreneur? And here's the path that could set you down here. Or to learn these skills or to learn those skills. That could be a big relief, on somebody, where you just I don't know what to do. I don't know if this is right or that's right. So that sounds like Pathegy is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was a bit of a, at the time, it was a bit of a a challenge to set it up. And one of the things that you'll know, as you get a little bit older, is that unfulfilled potential is one of the things, and growth are important things in your life. If you're not growing and you're not fulfilling that potential, then you're always looking for or reaching for something that may be not you. And I think that if we offer these services, then people can see, right, I can actually change my life. Yes, exactly what you said a minute ago. Before, the average person, they would work 20 years and they'd get the gold watch at the end of it and the pension, etc. But now, they can have multiple careers. They might want to be in business for a couple of years and then change direction in a couple of years. There has to be that alternative for them.
Yeah, for sure. And on the company side, one of the cool things about for me, in interviewing people like you, is it reminds me of that. The company has a responsibility, to recognize and appreciate employees, besides just giving them a job and a paycheck, but providing an environment where they could thrive. And if their goals are to stay with the company and help it grow, then you give them that opportunity, and don't guess at it either. You actually talk with them to see what their goals are. If they are happy where they're at, or if they do have aspirations to move up in the company, and then as an employer, you could provide that. I think that communication is missing these days.
Yeah. I think the human element is, for me, has been lost over the last few years, and I think that we have to bring it back and recognize that ultimately, what is this planet without humans? That's a question. If everybody asked that same question, and what is this planet without humanity? It's nothing. And that's a question that every organization has to ask itself, is that without my employees, what is this company? And when they ask that question, that is when the whole mindset shift comes in about, and things change dramatically. And that's where companies, they can experience that exponential growth, because the whole company is bought into this vision that we want everybody to succeed. Do you look at the top companies in the world at the moment? They are so invested in their employees, and they work closely with them to fulfill their dreams. And they've got great employees, happy employees, and great work as well. They're building something that can make a difference in the world.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just speaking to someone about that yesterday, like where so many small and large companies are just trying to get like new clients, and not build a online community or a social media channel or whatever, and they don't like build a community within their business with their employees, which are the front lines. And how you treat your employees is how they're going to treat your customers. Yeah. That type of a thing. So if you have a happy environment, that's supportive, then they'll be happy when they answer the phone, and and take care of the customer. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that the best businesses and the best leaders, you look at their employees, and if they're successful, you're a great leader. That has to be, if you're a great leader, your employees are successful, they're prospering, the company's prospering. That for me is leadership. And exactly what you say, the companies are looking at their bottom line and they're forgetting about people. Whereas if they focused on the people and how to foster a culture of success and health and well-being, they will become, it's just automatic. It's automatic. I can't stress that enough. It takes some convincing to organizations, but when they see it and actually in real time how it makes a difference, they then the eyes open. Is like, we can actually grow this company to something that we never thought we could grow it to.
That's awesome. So what are your present goals and aspirations?
just to keep doing what I'm doing. I think that for so long, Al, that I spent a lot of time behind the scenes, and that we just got on with what we needed to do. But I think as I work with more and more organizations, I think the message is so important for me to get out there that let's focus on humanity. Let's look at advancing humanity. Let's look at complementing humanity, and go from there and start building that. Start building this world back up to what it should be, and that's the goal for me at the moment. And yeah, I think we're on the right track. As much as the artificial intelligence age has just come out of nowhere, it's actually benefited us. So we're gonna ride that wave, but at the time we're riding the wave, we're going to show the importance of using it effectively and understanding why you're using it. So that's the goal for us and the company, and upskilling as many individuals as we can, and doing that.
That's awesome. That's really super cool. So is there like one thing, like one big idea that people should take away from this interview?
I would say that, I would say upskill and, look at advancing yourselves so that you can fulfill your potential. And there's always a pathway to success. You just need the strategy.
Right on. That's awesome. So thank you for coming on the show, sharing your insights with us. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you or to follow you?
I am on Instagram, Shakeel Mohamed, or I think it's Shakeel Mohamed 83. We have the Pathegy that's on Instagram as well, and Facebook. And if businesses want to contact me, we've got LinkedIn. We're quite active on LinkedIn. Awesome. I'm just getting into Twitter. So if anybody's watching this and they want to follow me and increase my following, then get me. But I find it quite complicated, Twitter. But I'm getting.
Yeah. Me too. That's awesome. And we'll be sure to include the links below the video and audio episode for this. So, but thank you again for coming on the show.
Thanks, Al. Great to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. So that concludes this episode of Podcast Marketing Secrets. This is Al Morenton signing off. I hope you have a successful day.